Hey there everybody, welcome to Unit Rates and Equations Day 2. I do not have any special notes for you today because this is just the same thing that we did yesterday. So instead of notes, I'm just going to go over a few of the problems with you. I'm going to go over problems 1, 4, 8, and then we'll take a look at problem number 13 also. Okay, so let's get started. Like I said, this is exactly what we did yesterday. The only main difference here is yesterday you had some equations at the top to choose from, and today you don't. So you have to definitely come up with them just from your own head. All right, so just a reminder what these equations should look like, and feel free to write this at the top of your paper. So the equations should always start with y equals, right? And then the next thing you're going to write is the unit rate. I'll write it in parentheses here. So whatever the unit rate for that problem is, you're going to write it there, and that will be multiplied by x. Okay, so that's kind of your little formula that you're going to use. Let's go ahead and look at problem number 1. It says one box of cereal costs $2.50. Now, what's our usual rule of thumb when we're dealing with dollars and cents? Does the cost go on top or on bottom? Usually it's going to go on top, and that way we can figure out how much it costs per item, whatever that item is. In this case, one box of cereal. So we're going to do $2.50, we'll put that on top, and on bottom is going to be one box of cereal. Okay, so we already have our unit rate here. How do I know? Because the number on bottom's a 1. So we can just write the unit rate here. I've run out of room, so we can just write this as $2.50, so 2.5. Or you can write 2.50. They're both the same thing and they're both correct. So the unit rate is 2.5 or 2.50 because any number over 1 is just equal to itself. So numbers wise, 250 over 1 is the same thing as 250. Okay, so let's write this equation. First of all, y equals, and now we're going to put 2.5. If you'd rather put 2.50, again, totally correct. And now we need to just multiply that by x. Okay, perfect. That is your equation. Now we need to explain our variables. So what does x equal and what is y equal to? Not equal to in terms of numbers, but what do they represent? Okay, the x is going to be that number that's on the bottom. So the numbers on the bottom, those are the boxes. So I'm going to say x equals boxes. And what is y equal to? That's going to be the money. So I'll just write a little dollar sign right there. And that's all you have to write for number 1. Let's take a look at number 4. Okay, we've got some money stuff going on here also. But instead of just one item, like here we had one box, here we have a 6-pack. So it looks like we have 6 cans of soda for $2.82. We'll follow our rule and put money on top. So $2.82. And then on the bottom, we have a 6-pack, so that's going to be 6 cans on bottom. Okay, so now the number on bottom is not a 1, so this time we have to actually divide, so I'm going to grab my calculator. And $2.82, let's see. Okay, 2.82 divided by 6 equals 0.47. That is our unit rate, so I'm going to write that right there. 0.47. So basically what this number means is each can of soda costs 47 cents, right? Okay, so this is our unit rate. We're going to write that in our equation. So equation starts with y equals, and then we write our unit rate, which is 0.47, and then we'll just write our x. And we're done writing the equation. Okay, so what are the x and y going to represent? That's a good question. So x, that's always the one that we put on the bottom of our ratio. So it looks like that's cans of soda. Cans of soda. And then the y is the number from the top. In this case, again, it was money. And you know, when you think of it, it makes sense. Like, look at your equation. If each can costs 47 cents, say you were buying 3 cans, how would you figure out your total cost? You would do 47 cents times 3, right? And that would equal your total cost. And that's exactly the story that this equation is telling. So it looks like we're in good shape. Let's go on to number 8. Okay, George here can ride 65 miles in 5 hours. Okay, 65 miles in 5 hours. So it looks like we're going to be figuring out miles per hour here. So we're going to put our miles on top, that's 65, and our hours on bottom, that's 5. Okay, we have our ratio set up. Now let's divide. I'm going to grab my calculator again, and let's do 65 divided by 5. That gives us 13. So our unit rate is 13 miles per hour. While we write our equation, we don't have to worry about the units. We just need the 13. So what do we start with? Y equals, yes. Now we do our unit rate, which was the 13. And then we're just going to write an X. And now let's come over here and let's explain what X and Y stand for. Okay, X, is that the number on the top or on the bottom? If you said on the bottom, you are correct. Good. So the number on the bottom, that was the hours. So I'll write hours here. And the Y, that's that top number. That would be the miles. Okay. So it looks like he went 13 miles per hour. So if he rode for, say, 5 hours, you would multiply 13 miles per hour times 5, and that would give you the total number of miles he went. Okay, let's look at the next page. It actually changes a little bit on this page. And so looking at number 13, guess what? You get to be a little creative here. So they give you the equation, y equals 5x, and you get to write the story. Okay, so I'm just going to make something up here. What if you had 5 books per child? Okay, so how would we do that? We would say 5 books per 1 child. I'm going to write kid. It's a little easier. And so what's our unit rate here? Well, the unit rate would just be 5. Because, how do I know that? Because the bottom number is already a 1. So the unit rate's a 5. So when I wrote that as an equation, it would be y equals 5x. And look, that's what we have. So this is a scenario that would work. Now, if you want to get a little fancier, you could say what? You could say 10 books per 2 children. Make us work a little bit harder for it. And so then you would set up your unit rate like 10 over 2 and divide for your unit rate. Sorry, I said that wrong. You'd set your ratio up as 10 over 2 and then divide for your unit rate. You'd still get a 5. Just 2 different ways to do it. Both of these are totally correct. So just have fun with it and be creative and make sure the ratio you set up divides to equal that number here. Also make sure you know how to explain your variables over here. So in my comparison here, remember x is the number, the thing from the bottom. And what thing is on the bottom? Well, the children. So x is the number of children. And what was the thing from the top? Books. Okay. So that's how you do number 13. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have questions, and I'll see you next time. Bye.